You use the word fraudulently.
Yes.
Would it be correct for us to say from his inception, from inception as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the PDP has not been in good terms with him?
I don't think we have had problem, to the best of my knowledge.
Because if now you're looking at it like...
No, what I'm saying is fraudulently in the sense that, there was something Chamberlain said.
What did he
say? I established a format here. What PDP is doing in zoning, every other party is now doing it. APC had an election and zoned their national chairmanship to South-South. They zoned it. Nobody disputed with it. When it is convenient for them, it is very good. They zoned it to South-South and zoned other positions to other places. When they zone that position to South-South, it automatically means that the presidential candidate of APC must come from the North. That's all it meant. So if we zone
that doesn't mean that somebody else cannot contest.
Constitutionally, somebody else can contest from any other part of the country.
So that was exactly what it did.
No. I haven't disputed the fact that he had a right to do it, but it shows how indisciplined, how uncoordinated. He's not a patriotic party person, and from that point of view, he cannot be a patriotic Nigerian.
How uncoordinated your members in the House?
Yes. I'm not blaming him alone.
Some of your
I'm
members,
not blaming him alone. Some of our members, led by the present deputy leader of that House. And I will insist, I will make sure that my party re-examines the basis of giving nomination papers to people now. You don't go and ruin and destroy what the party has planned and done over a year that has given us stability. You take advantage of what is good and you take advantage of what is bad. So I'm not blaming Tambuwal alone. I'm also blaming some of our members who connived with him to deprive the whole zone in this country of not having a position in the government for 4 years.
Are you leaving the leadership of the party in hand?
How the leadership of the party handled it with the presidency so beautifully.
At the time,
because when he emerged, the president congratulated him.
What about the complaint they had at the time? The reason why they moved, or the members in the PDP and the House did what they did?
They said they did not like the person that the party nominated.
They were trying to impose people on them. And so
yeah, but that's how they themselves were put in there. Because most of them will start down in the party caucus where decisions are made. You have been a two-term governor, a member of the House, or a two-term senator. Therefore, you have more experience than incoming ones. You should go here. These things have to be discussed. It is dialogue. You don't expect a fresh person just to come up and become a Speaker of the House. It could work in a fresh parliament. But once there are references to somebody who has been there for 4 years, 8 years, it is assumed that he probably may have more experience than incoming ones. So the party sits down and restructures who will be here, who will be there. Look at the stability we have in the Senate. Between the Senate President, isn't the same PDP and the Deputy Senate President? Beautiful people. And under the watch of this Speaker, and I thank God for your station, under the watch of Tambuwal, what have we had? The Miss Ote problem, the corruption in the oil industry, the stock exchange inquiry. Every inquiry that was done under his watch, his members were corrupted. It is a live show for Nigerians to watch. So, because he fraudulently found himself in a position of power, he was incapable of stopping what is wrong.
Are those his members? Those his members, are they not members of PDP?
Not all. There is a committee of all parties.
Yeah, most of them are members of PDP.
No, but because of the coup he did, the party chairmanship of all committees were shared to all the parties.
And your party was silent on all of that because we thought there should have been...
Oh, I don't think what we should do was to overhit the polity, because we just quoted the right of either both houses to choose their internal leadership.
Chief Ulasi, hold on a moment, because your party... They found some of the members in the House whose hands were actually soiled or alleged to have been soiled in some of these corrupt practices. Your party was silent on all of this.
So you don't Lawan not in court now. No, Suleiman, it's Lawan not.
You don't have to put the blame on the table of the Speaker just now because he has moved.
I made an explanation. I said, to make sure we have stability in this country, PDP sits down and looks, taking a foregone from what we call the federal character, and sits down, looks at the various positions. I said, look, if we say we struggle for it, maybe one zone might be lucky and capture everything. Because you know how to run for offices in this country. If you don't have resources, you're finished. But to make sure that every part of this country is properly represented, their interests properly taken care of, we said no. Every zone must be represented in all the major decision-making organs of the party and government. That was a decision, and I think it's a good decision that gives everybody a sense of belonging. For a deputy majority leader of the House, who already had a vice president from his zone, to again plot with some members, because it's a matter of greed, and they captured the office of Speaker, what do you want PDP to do? The party made an expression that it was wrong, but that they have no power to change it, because the House has the constitutional authority to elect its own leadership. But we would have thought, looking between PDP in the Southwest and APC in the Southwest, couldn't they have found somebody to give it to? Why must it be Tambuwal from Northwest?
Okay, now that
my question.
Now that the police have withdrawn his security details, saying that he's not the Speaker, who do they say is the Speaker now?
Well, I don't think the police said he's not the Speaker.
No, they
said having resigned as a member of PDP, which he quoted that aspect and refused, because it was good for him to plead convenient amnesia. He refused to quote the convenient aspect also that said, you have right to do this, you also have right. It is not a may, it is a mandatory thing that if you resign, this happens to you.
You don't think the police is working on landmines on this particular?
Well, I don't know. We want to see that landmine, because let the baby not cry. Let that baby cry. Let's see how it's going to cry.
No, because he
cannot be doing what he likes, and when he likes it,
and the police can choose to act on some issues and not to act on some other issues.
People have gone to court in this country challenging the processes by which the police acts. It is not common knowledge to anybody. People have been seeing the police to court. But at the highest level of government, for number 4 citizen of this country to just wake up in the morning and leave his party and wants to enjoy the offices which he has just left, that is eating your cake and having it back. I would have thought that if Tambuwal, I have so much respect for him, if Tambuwal had any honor in him, he would have done 2 things at the same time. Quoting the constitution, living interest of his state and whatever, and then that I'm resigning my seat.
Which PDP member has left PDP, or rather, which PDP member, present PDP member, that has left another party to PDP and has lost his seat? We're talking about presidents now.
Ignorance is not an excuse in law.
No.
Ignorance that something happened yesterday. Doesn't mean that you should be right today.
Who was once upon a time a member of another political party that your party has asked to vacate his seat or leave his position because they have moved to the PDP.
You remember when Senator Atan Zeribe was moving from one position to the other. PDP takes a stand. They take a stand. But the fact that when you go to court, the court processes take it over. There's no way you can enforce it. Look at the case we're talking about. Those who cross-carpeted. It's on now for more than 6 or 7 months in the course. So how will the party enforce it? You can only do one thing: take somebody to court. You don't make a judgment. It is the judiciary that takes part of that. That's part of the problem of Nigeria. That if this man was a gentleman, which I thought he was, it would have been beautiful to see him resign from the PDP and said, "I'm going to test my popularity."
I've got a question
in my constituency.
A question from John here.
Yeah.
He says, people have changed parties before without their security aids being removed. What is different in this one?
Nobody has changed party without his security aid being removed at that level. If this president now leaves the PDP and goes to APC and remains to be president of Nigeria, the constitution does not say that he will resign. So he can do that. A governor can do it. The constitution does not say he will resign his seat. But the constitution of Nigeria says if you're a member of House of Assembly...
Can the senator do it?
I said the constitution of Nigeria, which you read out, said that any member of the National Assembly or State Assembly who leaves his party to go to another party must resign his seat.
You know, I feel
and go to seek for a new mandate.
Chief Ulasi, I feel for the PDP now because the word out now is as if the police is being controlled by a puppet master somewhere. Because for now, we would have thought that the court should have done what they're doing now. Since when did the police of Nigeria turn into a court by quoting that section and acting upon it all by itself?
Well, it is, like I said earlier, ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
And it's not an excuse that the police would also show ignorance.
Because this is not a serious matter. The number 4 citizens of the country is overheating the politics.
And you don't think the police is the one?
No.
Overheating the politics.
What the police is doing is to bring it to books, to make it to understand. You don't pick and choose. At the level where you are supposed to be showing example.
By exposing the number 4 citizen to...
He's no more number 4 citizen.
Says who?
That was the law of Nigeria. The fact that he resigned as speaker, the other part of that law should be automatic.
But
he is creating the problem for the rest of us.
That's left for the third, which is the judiciary.
The
police, that's an offshoot of the executive arm, is not
agent. The police is an enforcement agent of government.
Enforcing what?
Enforcing the law. They will enforce the law. The law says, which is the Constitution of Nigeria, if you resign from office, this happens to you. This happens to you. That's what the law says.
But Chief,
because people had forgotten to do it in the past, doesn't make it right.
So is that the plan on the PDP?
I don't know. It's not the police is just doing their natural duty.
I mean,
if they never did it in the past, this is the time, because a significant person, a significant position has been affected, which could disrupt the polity of this country.
No, the question I was trying to put across is it the plan of the PDP to get him to go to court rather than the PDP going to court?
If he wants.
No, I mean,
because what I advise to my party,
PDP
let me say
court.
something. I will not advise PDP to go to court or do any other thing.
Why?
Because this time is so short. We have more serious things. This government is preparing for an election. Other parties are preparing for election. All members of the National Assembly who will be lucky will be getting re-nominated. We cannot waste our time, trying to pursue.
So the party now turns the table and wants him to go to court.
If he wants to. The police has enforced the law as it is. That is my view. The police of Nigeria has enforced the law as it is because it is the constitution that they are also defending. If this happened, because it didn't happen yesterday, it doesn't make it right. And look at him, under 24 hours, he's already sweeping up the party that brought him to the limelight of where that means he's not an honorable man. He would have even lasted for 1 week and, gone to kind of a retreat.
But
under 24 hours, he was sweeping PDP, that placed him where he is.
But we've seen politicians in this country, all parties, they move, even on the floor of the Senate, they move from one party to the other.
Not at the same level. And I continue to make that emphasis.
So the level
a member
is
of
the
the House,
factor.
It is a defining because
the law does not say anything about levels.
No, but
the governor of Ondo State has
if I do something now,
if I do something now as
a top member of PDP,
have moved,
and President Jonathan does the same thing, they carry different weights. Because people look up on President Jonathan for expressive, specific examples of leadership.
Nigerians are right when they say, well, we choose the laws to actually, activate when it has to do with your
if you remember what I said,
the ordinary Nigerians have always complained how sometimes they are left in the dark. So now, because it is a number 4 position, the police is acting, taking the role of the court. The PDP is crying foul, knowing full well that in times they haven't actually done the same.
Over the role of the court. The police is only enforcing the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to avoid instability. Because the Constitution which the Speaker swore to protect, he has destroyed.
No, he said,
he has destroyed. I mean, let us be honest. It's a very simple thing.
He's in party.
Sorry?
And he said, well, in his own state, the PDP in his state has some issues. Isn't that?
He said, he never said that.
He said recent development.
No, he said recent development means that
he didn't say means.
Well, but that's what it is, because you and I know that there is no problem with PDP in Sokoto.
No, I don't know. I don't know, because I'm not a member of PDP.
No, but I'm a member, so I'm telling you, even the deputy governor of Sokoto State, excuse me, the deputy governor of Sokoto State is still a PDP member. So what kind of problem is he talking about?
Isn't that a division?
And they are working together in the same cabinet.
Chief Ulasi, isn't that a division?
How can he be a division?
The governor in APC, his deputy in PDP. Isn't that some of the division he was referring to?
To get to what I'm saying, you have to expressly define what we're talking about. The governor and the deputy governor are under no law in this country that says if they move from party A to party B, that's what happened to them. So they're free to do whatever they like. But the National Assembly has a law that says if you leave your party to another party, this happens to you. That's what the Constitution of Nigeria says. And you don't pick and choose the part of the Constitution you respect. Because at the level where he's coming from, as Speaker of the Federal House, he would have given an example that will remain eternal in this country if he left the party and also resigned his office.